y'all, I know a lot of y'all been asking about the gas station video that I did. I got a lot of response online, people asking me, kind of the same questions. So I figured I'll just go ahead and get in the video and kind of show you guys what I did. So I'm just going to hop right into it. So first off, I got my LUTs from Prime ATL. You can search him on all platforms as such, and he has his LUTs for sale. I use the cold case LUT. That's the one that I used for this particular video. As far as my lenses go, I did use a wide lens for the first two opening shots. That was the Sony 11mm 1.8, which is about a 16.5 on my camera, the FX30. And the other lens that I used was the Tamron 28-75 2.8. So those were the lenses. My camera settings were pretty simple. All I use is just S-Log3, the flexible ISO. As far as denoising and stuff like that, I did not use any denoising plugins or anything like that. To get the clarity in my blacks, I use S-Log3 and just expose accordingly. For some, one stop over is okay, but usually my sweet spot that I find for my camera and what I'm trying to do is going over 2 stops in the S-Log3 setting. So plus 1.7 or plus 2 stops works better for me in my experience, and I receive no grain and my blacks are like clear when I do that. The other thing is I try to remember to set up my camera for success. So a lot of people were like, how'd you do it? etc. I learned a lot about the FX30 while I was testing it. I've only had the FX30 not even a couple months. So while I was testing and trying to figure it out and understand the camera, I realized it needs good lighting. It is a crop sensor. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad in low light, in my opinion, in my experience, but it does mean that I have to do a little bit more to set my camera up for success. So if I have good lighting with my FX30, my image is good. I always try to remember it's called low light, not no light. Say it again with me now. Low light, not no light. So you need some type of lighting source, even if you have to bring your own. So look for good lighting sources. At least that's what I do. Gas stations, grocery stores, etc. Those usually have pretty good outside lighting that hits the sensor on the FX30 in my experience very well. So just remember it's called low light, not no light, guys. The other part is I actually used ND filters at night. And yes, in my opinion, that's okay. I know it's a lot of people that say don't use ND filters at night, but it also depends on the conditions. The gas station that I was at was very, very bright. And I wanted to have particular settings. So I used an ND filter to get those settings the way that I wanted to, and just use the ND filter to kind of do that for me. So yeah, sometimes places, venues can be very, very bright depending on what kind of settings you want. If I want to have a high f-stop, and I'm in bright conditions, a low f-stop and I'm in bright conditions, and I'm going to use my ND filter. I don't think that is limited for me just at night or just during the day. At night, in certain places it's bright, I use an ND filter. So the rest of the shots that I got were pretty random. I really wasn't trying to do anything super duper special. All my driving shots, I got those together because I thought if I'm pulling up, I should be pulling out. That's probably how I should end the scene. So that's pretty much all I did. So, usually when I'm shooting, all I do is just kind of pay attention to my grids, my zebras, my white balance. And then I also try to just find different things leading lines. If you look behind me, you see these lights and how they're literally leaning. So when I was taking off, your attention was just on my car. It wasn't on any other cars behind me or anything like that. So it's just kind of looking for little things like that kind of helps you out. Always looking for, for me, I always look for leading lines. I always look for any way that I can fit my grids. Try to put any kind of cool way that I can put a subject within the grids that I have. That's pretty much all I do. And I just keep it fairly simple. The music that I got, it was from Splice. And I just used a sample and added a little bass and stuff like that. So I kind of built a beat, not a whole beat, but I built a little bit of a beat on Splice. So the samples and stuff that they have on there are really good. All of them, from alternative to
to hip hop and all that kind of stuff. All of those are like really, really good. So yeah, and shout out Prime ATL for like really changing my perspective on how I decide to shoot and what I do. My one-on-one with him was like super, super valuable. I already knew how to shoot, but he kind of just gave me some guidance on like exactly where I need to go and how I need to do things. And it was like small tweaks, but the information and just the knowledge and the exchange of creative ideas was something that really gave me a lot of motivation. So just shout out to him for doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got all these shots. Hopefully this was like a good explanation. I don't think it was. I feel like I'm just kind of babbling. Basically, when I come to a place, I look for lighting, good composition, good ways to be able to use my grid and how I can uniquely place subjects or things in a grid, and then leading lines and frame in a frame. I really look for that kind of stuff. So yeah.